America, the land of the free, a nation built on liberty, democracy, and the Constitution. But what if I told you that our freedom is at risk right now? What if the warning signs of authoritarianism were already here, and we were ignoring them? This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's history repeating itself. And today, we're going to talk about a chilling warning, one that every American, especially those who love this country, needs to hear. In 2008, author and journalist Naomi Wolf released The End of America, a book and documentary outlining 10 warning signs that indicate a democracy is on the path to authoritarian rule. Her research was based on real historical patterns, how free nations collapse into tyranny. And the scary part? Many of these warning signs are happening right now in America. Now, before you click away, let me make something clear. This is not about attacking conservatives, Trump voters, or the MAGA movement. If anything, it's the exact opposite. If you care about freedom, if you love America, then this video is for you. Because the truth is, tyranny can come from anywhere. And if we're not careful, we'll lose everything we're trying to protect. Let's break down these warning signs step by step and see how they apply to America today. Authoritarian regimes always start by convincing people that there's a massive threat, whether it's terrorists, traitors, or enemies within. Think about it. How many times have we been told that our democracy is under attack? That political opponents are not just wrong, but dangerous? When leaders convince people that their enemies are a threat to the nation, it justifies extreme measures. Now, this one may seem extreme, but think about it. After September 11th, we saw the rise of places like Guantanamo Bay, where people could be held indefinitely without trial. Fast forward to today, and we have concerns about political prisoners, government surveillance, and the abuse of law enforcement power. If you believe in freedom, this should concern you, no matter which party is in charge. Authoritarian governments create or tolerate violent groups that operate outside the law, whether it's political street gangs or heavily armed federal agencies targeting citizens. The real question is, why is political violence becoming normal? Who benefits from the chaos Big Brother is watching? Literally. We know for a fact that the government is monitoring our communications. The NSA, the FBI, and even social media companies are collecting data on American citizens. They claim it's for national security, but who decides what's a threat? When the government starts targeting political groups, churches, or activists, it's a sign of trouble. Think about the IRS scandals, the way peaceful protests are treated differently depending on the political party, and the restrictions placed on free speech. If free speech is under attack, we all lose. When people can be arrested for political reasons or held indefinitely without a fair trial, that's a police state. January 6th, protesters, whistleblowers, journalists, are we heading toward a system where political enemies just disappear? Authoritarian regimes always go after their biggest threats first, the people who challenge the system. When political candidates are prosecuted, when journalists are silenced, when activists are blacklisted, it's time to ask, who's really in control? We used to have a free press. Now we have corporate media outlets pushing an agenda. And if you try to speak out, social media bans, censorship, shadow banning. If the government or big tech controls the flow of information, how can we call ourselves a free country? If you question the system, suddenly you're unpatriotic. We've seen this play out over and over. When one side calls the other side dangerous or treasonous, it justifies extreme measures against them. The final step, when leaders decide that the law no longer applies to them. We saw this during the pandemic, when emergency orders overruled constitutional rights. We see it when politicians change election rules at the last minute. And once the rule of law is gone, freedom is next. Listen, if you love America, if you believe in freedom, then this is the time to wake up. Authoritarianism doesn't come from one party. It can come from anywhere. And if we don't recognize the signs, we'll lose everything our founding fathers fought for. So what can we do? Listen. If you love America, if you believe in freedom, then this is the time to wake up. Authoritarianism doesn't come from one party. It can come from anywhere. And if we don't recognize the signs, we'll lose everything our founding fathers fought for. So what can we do? Support free speech, even for those you disagree with. Hold every politician accountable, left and right. Protect the Constitution, no matter what.